Welcome to episode 305 of Angela Watson's Truth for Teachers. I'm your host, Angela Watson, and I'm here to speak encouragement into the hearts of educators and get you informed and energized for the week ahead. Today, I'm sharing 5 ways you can automate teaching tasks to save you hours every single week. Visit truthforteachers.com for an easy-to-read, easy-to-share version of this podcast episode. As you've probably noticed, especially over the last few months, it seems like every time you go online or open your laptop or pick up your phone, that every single app and website is using generative artificial intelligence. If you try to write something in Google Docs, you're prompted to use Gemini to help you write. If you're reading a post on Facebook, Meta is prompting you to, quote, ask anything via their AI bot. AI is now integrated on our phones, in our email, in the customer support chatbots on nearly every website when we're shopping online. It's there when you're troubleshooting services. If you go to your cable or internet provider's website or your electricity provider's website, they're probably going to have an AI-powered chatbot in the corner helping you. AI is everywhere. It is transforming industries, both in ways that are visible and invisible. Netflix and Spotify, for example, use AI to recommend movies, TV shows, music to you based on your viewing and listening history. In medicine, AI is revolutionizing healthcare. It's being used to analyze medical images for early detection of disease. AI-powered robots are assisting in surgeries. Chatbots are providing preliminary diagnosis and advice. Even farmers are using AI for precision farming and monitoring crop health. In the financial sector, AI is being used for fraud detection, risk assessment, automated trading. In retail, AI is helping with inventory management, customer service, personalized shopping experiences. And in the creative arts, AI is being used to compose music, write scripts, and even create visual art. So AI is everywhere, and we're only at the beginning stages of the generative AI revolution. It's designed to help save everyone time and help everyone do their jobs more effectively and efficiently. Why not let it help you in your role as a teacher? I talked at length in episode 304 about the pros and cons of AI, the drawbacks to it, the importance of not using AI as a Band-Aid when structural or institutional change is needed in schools. And I talked also about why it's so important for educators to help shape the narrative around AI use in schools and to have a clear vision for it. So if you have concerns about AI and you haven't listened to that episode yet, please go back and get that for the context. Today, though, I want to show you possibilities. That's my job. Your job is to decide what's right for you and your classroom and your students. So let's talk about possibilities. I'm going to share 5 easy ways that I currently see AI as a tool to automate teachers' workloads. These 5 ways are differentiation, assessment, writing, tedious tasks, and creative expression. Let's start by talking about differentiation. Rather than searching out or creating multiple versions of a text to accommodate various reading levels, use AI to generate alternative versions. This is useful for students who need simplified versions of text and can also be used to challenge students who are reading above grade level. A simple prompt like, rewrite this passage on a 4th grade reading level, or use simpler vocabulary, will usually get you results you can use right away. This is a game changer for exposing students to primary source materials, which are often inaccessible for all but the most advanced readers. It's also useful for English language learners. They can read the same passage as the rest of the class, but AI can either translate it into that student's native language or simplify the vocabulary in English and provide definitions and other scaffolding. AI is great at differentiating lessons. You can input a lesson that is on grade level and ask the tool to make it more challenging for students working above grade level. Ask it to make a version for students reading at a lower level. This is a huge time saver for small group instruction in which many teachers are having to find texts for all different reading levels. Now you can pick one that's on grade level and then use AI to adjust up or down as needed. And one of the most exciting aspects of the AI tools designed for teachers is that they are designed to help you analyze student progress. They help you notice patterns about what students are and aren't understanding and provide follow-up lessons. If students complete an assignment within an AI tool, you will see automatic reports about which students need which interventions or which extensions and how you can implement those next steps. So we're moving toward a world in which students can be personally tutored within AI platforms that are designed to be safe for them, such as Magic Student, which is the student-facing side of Magic School. That's a really popular free AI tool that lots of teachers use already. In Magic Student, there are AI coaches or tutors, that's the AI bot, right? Which can reteach things that students didn't understand or walk them through problem solving, just like you would if you had the time to sit down one-on-one with every single student. And it's all done within a platform that complies with data privacy laws and provide guardrails to keep students safe and make sure the conversation is school appropriate. So I see this differentiation piece as being a major part of the future of AI. Some teachers are already experimenting with it. Some districts are already moving in that direction. There's a lot of potential there for that. So differentiation is one way that you can automate your teaching and save time. Another way is to think about automating your assessment. AI-assisted grading is definitely a functionality that will be developed more in the future. And I think we'll continue to see learning management systems, known as LMSs, integrate with AI seamlessly. So using tools that are designed for school use really ensures that when we're using AI, we are being FERPA compliant, we're protecting student data, student privacy issues. So you're not inputting student work into ChatGPT or something else that is open platform, right? It's something that's probably going to be integrated into whatever learning management system your school already uses, if it hasn't been already. When we can use AI to give students immediate feedback, that will free you up as a teacher to focus on analyzing work that's more subjective and higher level, taking things deeper with students, and really connecting with them in ways that you wouldn't have time for otherwise. AI excels in providing detailed, professionally worded feedback to students, and it can help you phrase things eloquently more quickly so that you're not spending tons of time on student feedback. You can give more positive affirmations about what students are getting right in their work. Another aspect that you can use AI for to automate your teaching and saving time in assessment is with rubrics. Generative AI is pretty good at generating rubrics from scratch, particularly if you're using an AI tool that is designed for teachers, and I'll talk more about that later. For example, you could type, "Write a rubric for reflective writing for 6th graders." You can further refine the results by telling the bot, "Make it a 5-point rubric," or "Only use these 3 criteria." Class Companion is a really great free tool for this. They have lots of built-in templates, which you can customize as much or as little as you want, either on your own or by having AI help you. Class Companion also assesses and gives students feedback using the rubric criteria and works with short answer, essay, multiple choice, and outline formats. You can even automate grading essays with AI. A great way to get started with this, particularly if you use Google Classroom, is by installing the free Brisk Teaching Chrome extension. This integrates automatically with Google Docs. Brisk Teaching will analyze students' writing when it's submitted in Google Docs according to the criteria you choose. You could ask it to write a glow and grow, so one thing that the student did well, one thing they need to improve on, or analyze a specific aspect of their writing, such as structure or vocabulary. Brisk will then generate Google Doc comments for you, and you can simply approve them if you think that they're good, and they will automatically post for students to review. You can delete the ones you don't want. You can edit them. You can add your own in, really make it your own. This is designed to be a starting place, right? So that you're not just working from scratch, and also to make sure that you didn't miss anything. The AI can pick up on things that you might not have noticed, like there was a really strong word choice here, or there's some important key information missing over there. So it can actually help you give more accurate feedback and more detailed feedback more quickly. It also helps you grade more equitably because the AI is using the same set of criteria for all students, and it doesn't have that bias that we may have as teachers when, we know something is submitted by a student who typically does good work, and so we may not read it quite as closely and just assume that it was good. Or a student who typically works below grade level, we may find ourselves scrutinizing their work more harshly. So AI can also help you with the equity piece a little bit, and you can kind of compare the feedback that you would give with what the AI generates. You can even revise the feedback by prompting Brisk to, quote, "Write a positive comment about grammar," or Write 2 sentences thanking a 7th grade student for putting so much thought into their assignment. And then that feedback can be added in. So if there's something you think of that the AI tool didn't do, you can ask it to write it for you, and it will compose it in a way that is on grade level, appropriate, and much faster than if you were typing it from scratch yourself. And that's just a small piece of what Brisk can do to automate your teaching. It can also adjust reading levels in text. It can translate into other languages. It can generate class newsletters, create quizzes, and it's already integrated seamlessly with existing tools that you may already use, like Google Drive. Pretty amazing, right? Especially when you consider we're only at the beginning of the AI revolution and there's lots more to come. So we've talked about ways to automate differentiation and assessment. Let's talk about writing. Artificial intelligence excels in providing detailed, professionally worded feedback to students and can help you phrase things eloquently. So type out what you want to say and tell the bot, write this in a more professional tone, or say this more kindly, or explain this more clearly for a middle schooler, or say this, but in more detail. I found that AI is great at simplifying instructions for students or rewording them so that they're easier to understand. Give your directions to the bot and ask it to phrase things more simply or write it so a 2nd grader could understand. Composing emails, reports, comments, messages, all of that kind of stuff can be very, very time consuming because it's important to strike the right tone and convey information accurately as well as professionally, or whatever it is that you're composing to include. Talk about the tone you want to use. Tell it, make it casual or make it informal, and give any important details that you want. While the results are probably not going to be perfectly worded right out of the gate, they're usually enough to get you started in the right direction. So when we're talking about automating your writing, you may be able to spend, say, 10 minutes editing a text rather than 45 minutes writing it yourself from scratch. And that's a major time saving. Another way to automate your teaching is to think about those tedious tasks, that mundane work that you want to take off your plate. For example, if you need a list of even numbers from 1 to 30, or you need to count by 7 from 1 to 100, type that request into AI, and then you can just copy paste instead of having to type it all out yourself. If you teach at the high school level, you may be thinking that's a really weird thing, but trust me, if you teach at the younger grades and you're teaching math, that is something that you may actually need to do. You can also use AI to calculate percentages or do other math tasks for you. You can use AI to define something or give synonyms and antonyms or tell you how to pronounce a word. AI can help you automate your work by translating your text into other languages, which is super helpful for students and families whose first language is one other than English. Of course, I can insert the usual caveats here about possible errors, but still, this is a useful starting point. They're getting more and more accurate all the time, and it's still better than just sending something home to parents in English when you know that they can't read it. They're probably going to be using a translation app that's imperfect at home anyways to try to get it into their native language. So you can do that work for them and let them know, this was translated using this tool. Please forgive any errors or confusion. You can alphabetize with generative AI. So if you have a class list or something like that where everything's out of order, or maybe it's alphabetized by last name and you need it alphabetized by first name, copy paste that list into the chatbot and ask it to write it in alphabetical order for you. I would recommend doing this within a tool that you know is FERPA compliant and compliant with student data and privacy laws, since these are student names in this particular example. So if you're using a tool that is designed for teachers, check the privacy statements, but all of the ones that I've seen are compliant with these rules because they know that's so important for schools. You can also automate your teaching by generating lists of examples with AI. So instead of having to come up with a whole bunch of figurative language examples yourself, or examples of alliteration, or examples of times when multiplication would be used to solve a problem, or examples of erosion processes in action. These are things that you might ordinarily just search for online and try to compile yourself or think of different things yourself. You can put this request into AI and you will see a list right away. You can always ask it to regenerate if you don't like the examples. Say, give me 5 more. You can extend this by asking for non-examples, such as phrases that people mistake for figurative language, or examples of math problems when multiplication wouldn't be used. You can then present the examples and non-examples to students and have them determine which is which. I also love using AI to generate sample essays and writing samples for students to analyze and assess. So in the past, teachers have used actual writing of former students. For lack of a better option, you white out the person's name or you delete it if it's digital. But now you can ask AI to write a good essay on the topic you want, or a poor essay on the topic that you want. So a lot of the AI tools for teachers have this exemplar function built in. Eduaid comes to mind for this. Magic School is another good one. But you could just use a ChatGPT or other free tool like that too. Try a prompt like, write a poorly written essay on this grade level about this topic. Or write an essay about this topic that is 300 words and lacks this particular quality. Or write a blank grade level essay about this topic that does show this quality. Many AI tools will do this for you. Brisk Teaching will also do this. Ask to provide a below expectations, meeting expectations, above expectations exemplar. You can then show these to students and have them figure out which is which. What makes their favorite example so well written? How could the others be improved? Students can even use AI-generated rubrics to assess those exemplars. Typically, students love doing this. It's always fun to find someone else's mistakes and to grade anonymous work. So it's a great, great strategy. The final way to use AI to automate your teaching is my personal favorite because it's counterintuitive for a lot of folks. People worry, and I think they worry correctly, that AI could dehumanize us. It could turn us all into bots. It could remove our ability to think independently and be creative. It could kill the artistic industry, music creation, if everything is AI generated. But I think two things can be true at once. I'm going to go with both and here. That is a possibility. But AI is also a powerful tool for sparking creativity, for being a partner with you in your creative work, for brainstorming with you. Let's say that you're teaching a unit on desert animals. You could ask AI, what are 5 fun facts about desert animals for third graders? And then use that as part of your morning warm-up or your hook at the start of the lesson. If you don't like any of the results, type, give me 5 more. Or change the prompt a little bit, like, give me 5 more, but make them really surprising or really funny. So in this way, you already know the structure of your lesson. It's still your lesson, but the bot is saving you time. It's automating things because you can just plug in this content. You don't have to research all those fun facts yourself. AI can help you generate metaphors. It can write stories, poems, song lyrics, and you can use these for teaching writing or analysis or your content area knowledge. For example, ask AI for a metaphor to help you explain opportunity cost in economics, or an analogy to help kids understand the difference between climate and weather. If you've always wished that you could be the kind of teacher who creates original songs to teach content or class rules and makes learning really fun in that way, AI can help you. It can make up fairy tales or origin stories to teach a lesson. And of course, you can edit these to make them exactly how you want them and put your own personal spin on things. Another strategy that's similar to this that a lot of teachers like is having AI rewrite instructions or class rules in the style of a celebrity that their students like. AI is great at providing a fresh, creative twist on the way that you would normally word things. And of course, you can use AI to brainstorm lesson ideas and creative, engaging teaching strategies. Did you notice that as I was sharing these different examples with you, it kind of got your mind racing a little bit? You might have started thinking of an assignment that you could have AI rewrite in the style of a person your students recently studied, for example. I didn't explicitly suggest that you rewrite something in the style of a historical figure, but maybe my ideas were like a springboard. Maybe you came up with that or something else on your own. That's the power of AI. You don't have to use the output exactly as it's given to you. In fact, I don't always even use the ideas that AI gives me when I ask it to brainstorm because the list that AI generates inspires me to think of something new. AI can combine ideas in new and interesting ways that you may never have thought of. So try asking for 5 ways to teach numerators and denominators, or 10 activities to help students practice vocabulary, and then see what ideas you think of as a result of reading AI's output. So we've talked about automating your teaching in 5 different ways: differentiation, assessment, writing, tedious or mundane tasks, and your creative expression. The real magic for teachers in automating your teaching with AI, though, is in those tools that are designed for school use. And many of the AI tools that are designed for teachers are also introducing student-facing components. I mentioned previously how MagicSchool.ai recently introduced Magic Student. This allows kids to use AI to help them with these kinds of tasks. It helps them write. It helps them research. They can correct misunderstandings. And all of this is within an environment that is in many ways safer than just sending kids to a regular search engine or having them research things on their own or get help online. There are guardrails in place. Everything they type into Magic Student is visible to the teacher. It's all recorded. It's designed to not allow any kind of inappropriate or off-task conversations. The results they get are accurate and vetted, much more so than they would be in something like just regular ChatGPT. So I see lots of exciting possibilities for automating this kind of tutoring, mentoring, coaching, all of these types of things that you just don't have enough time to do with every single student one-on-one. I see AI as a possibility for supporting that in the future. We're just at the very beginning stages right now, so it's hard to tell how that's going to look like, but I wanted to toss that out for you. Right now, when I say that the real magic for teachers and automating with AI is in the tools that are designed for school use, I mean the things that are already available to streamline your workload. The AI tools that are designed for school use are trained to reference learning standards for various states. There are also some that are specific to individual countries. If you're outside of the US, that will reference your standards where you are located. Some of them will take your text and input it into a self-grading quiz in Google Drive or in slideshow text in Google Slides. Diffit is a tool that's really great for that, Diffit. It's a paid feature as of this recording, but obviously huge time savers. And Diffit makes different exporting options free every single month. So it just so happened actually that for the month of June, exporting into Google Forms was one of the free options. So you can take a text and create this form that students can take. It's a quiz now automatically, and then that can also be graded automatically. So that's a huge automation time saver. By the way, when we're talking about the free versus paid, all of the teacher AI tools that I have seen have started off with free versions and later on introduced paid versions. And all of them provide a free tier forever that is quite powerful. So you don't have to pay for any AI tools unless there's something you really love and use a lot. So do expect that model. They start off free because they want to gather as many users as possible. Once they've hit a certain momentum or tipping point, then they start to introduce a paid tier, typically aimed at districts and schools, but teachers can usually purchase these as well. And they tend to range between about $5 a month and $10 a month. So not super expensive, but the free versions, all of them have promised to offer something for free. And there's plenty of capability that you can get there, not to mention things like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. There's all kinds of other tools too that are completely free and not limited, but those are not designed for teachers. When it comes to the tools that are designed for teachers, my two favorites are Brisk Teaching and Magic School. If you want to simplify and you don't want to get overwhelmed and try to learn too many different tools at once, you could probably use just Brisk Teaching. It's a free Chrome extension, and Magic School. And if you don't use Google Classroom with students, then Magic School alone can do pretty much everything that you want. So as you think about how to automate your teaching and save time, I want to leave you with the 3 most important mindset shifts that I think you need to keep in mind here. These are the things that I continually advocate for in the 40-hour full year program and that are also a big part of the 40-hour AI membership. The first one is to remember that the goal is not to discover every cool thing that AI can do. I've given you lots of ideas here. If you are overwhelmed, then remember you don't have to implement every single thing. If you enjoy exploring AI and you like to learn about all the possibilities, go for it. I like to do that too. But if your goal is just to streamline your workload, if you just want to automate more things so that you can spend time on tasks that are more important to you, then approach AI like any other tech tool. This has been my advice with technology since my early days as an instructional technology coach 15 years ago. I've always told teachers, you don't need to learn every tool, every website, every app, every possible use case. There's just too much, and it's always changing. So focus on just-in-time learning instead of just-in-case learning. You don't need to know everything just in case you ever need it. You need it just in time. You need to know where to go if and when you need the information or the resource, but you don't have to memorize it all or become familiar with all of it just in case it's ever useful. The second piece of advice that I often give, which applies with AI, is that done is better than perfect. You could spend hours searching for the perfect AI tool, but if you find one that works well enough, stick with it. And the third mindset shift or piece of advice to remember is that you can always add more over time. Think about the minimum viable product, the MVP. First, make it work, then make it work better. If you're currently using AI to automate one task in your workflow, that's great. Focus on mastering that. It takes time to retrain our brains to rely on AI instead of whatever approach we've been doing for all of these years. Pulling up an AI tool or a chatbot is not yet a default instinct for most of us when we need something done. So when you're planning or you're assessing, you might not even think about AI at all until you're done. And then remember, oh yeah, I probably could have automated that. I probably could have done that faster. Oh well. So if you are using AI as a go-to tool for just one or two regular tasks, that is fantastic. Focus on developing and ingraining that habit, and then you will naturally start to explore how AI can help you automate other tasks. And over time, you'll slowly integrate more uses for AI into your workflow and start automating things. If you found this helpful and you resonate with these ideas, you want to learn more, you're excited about it, and you want to see how this can start saving you time, consider signing up for my 40-hour AI membership. You've heard me mention the 40-hour teacher workweek program before, right? Where it's about maximizing those contractual work hours so that you're not working endlessly on nights and weekends. Well, this is an extension of that. There's a private discussion community right within the membership site for 40-hour AI. It's not hosted on social media. And you can share ideas there with other teachers. You can see what's working in their classrooms, and you can ask questions so that you always feel up to date. You'll get immediate access to all my existing courses on AI and the ones I'm creating in the future, because this is an ever-growing collection. I have a training on the basics, how to get started, the ethics, how to create a responsible plan, and coming in July later this month, habits, how to integrate AI into your regular routines so that it becomes like your go-to teaching assistant to automate your lesson planning, your grading, and more. So you get these courses. There are PD certificates that come with them. This is training for professional development. And there's also an ever-growing collection of super short videos that are just 5 to 7 minutes long. And those are designed to help you stay current with the latest ways educators are using AI to automate their workflows. I've invited graduates of the 40-hour Teacher Workweek full year program to create videos for you so you can see exactly how a middle school science teacher creates lab assignments with AI, or how a third grade teacher has automated their report card comments with AI. I always want to highlight the expertise of current classroom teachers who are doing this work right alongside you with students every day. So you can watch those really short videos, just pop in there when you want to learn how to get something done, watch the 5-minute training, and take care of it. I'm also offering 30-minute live trainings followed by 30 minutes for you to experiment and ask questions and troubleshoot. One of the common concerns I've heard from teachers with AI is that they just don't have time to explore the tools. So I will provide a really quick overview, and then you have time with me right there live with you online, helping you out and guiding your experimentation. So you can join the 40-hour AI membership anytime. You can cancel anytime and take a break. There's a quarterly option and an annual option. You can try it out and quit and then come back later if there's some new AI development that you want to learn about. Keep in mind that we accept school purchase orders and we have group license discounts. And again, there are PD certificates of completion for each course within the AI membership. So let your administrators know if you and your colleagues could use some professional development training in artificial intelligence tools. This is an option for you, and it's designed to be really affordable. You can click the link in the show notes to learn more about 40-hour AI and to join us. Or you can do a search online for 40-hour teacher workweek AI, and it will come right up. So whether you've been worried about AI, whether you're burying your head in the sand until you can't ignore it anymore, know that I am committed to staying updated on everything related to automating your teaching with AI so that you don't have to stay on top of every single thing. I'm going to curate the best ideas and the best information for you. And the 40-hour AI membership site will help you access just the information you need to know when you need to know it without bogging you down in unnecessary or extraneous or outdated guidance. I hope you will join us. The link's in the show notes. You can do this. And remember, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be worth it.